Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're visiting Tintagel.
Same thing then.
Tintagel has been famous for its Arthurian legend for hundreds of years. We've come here today not to explore the castle, but to give you a little bit more information from an old guidebook. We have a pamphlet from the 1950s with suggested walks in and around Tintagel. Today we will be following Walk 1 down to the Cove to find Merlin's cave and head out to Barris Nose. From there we hope to pick up Walk 2 to Bossiney Haven. Tintagel is on the North Coast of Cornwall, close to Boscastle and Port Isaac.
I walked today around Tintagel. We've parked here. This is the King Arthur's car park. I've paid £4 for all day and it's January 2023.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, or perhaps you would consider becoming a patron to the channel, or you could make a one-off donation through our website. Hello everybody, it's January. It's a crisp, cold, wintry day. We've got sunshine, which is a delight.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. We're near the coast. We're actually in Tintagel. Today with us we have this little pamphlet. It's called Tintagel and Boscastle. It was produced in the 1950s by a local person to Tintagel. In fact, he had a shop very close to here in...
I think it's in Castle Hill.
Castle Hill?
Yes.
We're not sure where Castle Hill is.
Just ahead of us, I believe.
But we're heading down to the castle now, so we might come across it. The reason we're quite interested in this little pamphlet is there's several walks in the back, and today we're going to pick one, maybe two, and try and do them.
So I wonder where this chap's shop used to be then, Sarah. It says it was on Castle Hill, and I'm pretty sure this is Castle Hill, isn't it? Yeah.
Perhaps it was the old... well, the bakery as it is now.
Yeah, it's now the Cornish bakery. It would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He was obviously selling these as a souvenir guide, wasn't he?
Yes, and I think you had a little investigate, didn't you, online, and you discovered that it's pretty much the same pamphlet every year, just with a different tide time table at the back.
It was. I mean, we've got the 8th edition.
Oh, have
that one
we?
there, but I think he got
So
up
it's
to
like...
about 13 or 15 editions.
So this is probably the mid-50s.
I think it's mid-50s, yes. Yeah.
He took the photographs, he was into photography.
Yeah.
So we'll show you one or two of those as we go down towards the castle.
Come on then.
So there's several walks at the back of this pamphlet, and we're going to try to do this one today, which I think we'll do with the puppy. Depending on how he behaves, we're going to try and link it with walk 2 as well. So we're going to find Merlin's cave. So when you were doing your detective work, how did you find out that this book was of that era?
Well, there was 2 references in there. One was to train services, and actually said British Rail Southern section, and I think British Rail came into existence in the late 40s. He was pulled by the dog.
Yeah, if he'd suddenly disappear, we know why.
It might be 1948, something like that. It also talks about that you can play golf. And it said you can play golf at the King Arthur Hotel, which is the one on the headland there, isn't it? And the golf course, I think, shut in 1959.
Oh, so it had to be between those dates?
Yeah, so I think it's early 50s, I would have thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
King Arthur's Hotel was the previous name for the Camelot Hotel, which is on that headland that looks out to sea towards the castle. So you can't come to Tintagel, talk about the castle and not mention King Arthur, who was meant to be king of the Britons, wasn't he, back in the 600s, something like that.
I think the legend is that King Arthur, he was conceived here, wasn't he?
So the story goes that his mum, the mother of King Arthur, was married to a duke who was duke in the kingdom where Uther Pendragon was king.
Right.
And Uther Pendragon liked the Duchess.
He did, didn't he?
So the Duke kind of thought, oh, hang on a minute, I don't like this, and took her away from court and brought her here to Tintagel Castle so that she would be safe from Uther, King of Cornwall.
That's a good idea, because it's well defended, isn't it? It's a perfect place to, you know, hide if you wanted to and be protected from.
Yeah, Uther was a bit more than king of... he wasn't actually king of Cornwall, just to put that right. Anyway, Uther Pendragon asked Merlin to cast a spell on him so that he looked like the Duke.
Ah.
He then fooled the people at the drawbridge, walked across the drawbridge, walked straight into the castle, dined with the Duchess.
Yes.
And they went to bed.
Right.
And it was reputed that Arthur was conceived that night.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Meanwhile, the Duke was off fighting, and eventually it's kind of a little bit sketchy at this point whether he died in battle on Uther's behalf or whether Uther Pendragon slayed him. There's a little bit of debate. Anyway, the Duke dies, Uther Pendragon weds the Duchess, she becomes queen, and then gives birth to Arthur.
That'd make a good story, wouldn't it?
So I hope you kept up with that. So basically, King fancies Duchess, fools Duchess into thinking he's the Duke, has his wicked way with her. Arthur's the result.
There we are. You're very concise.
Yeah. All helped along by Merlin.
And a Cornish tourist industry has been benefiting from this story
for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
We're just enjoying a bit of a picnic lunch. Thought we'd share this with you. We're down by the castle. Florence Richards lived in the cottage at the castle Cove. She charged 2 old pennies to go up to the castle island. She gave you the key to go up on your own and would ring a handbell for you to come back down.
A bit more than that today, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, apparently, so you used to come to the little cottage. We think it was probably this one here.
Yes.
And the lady that ran it, she was called Florence Richards.
At one point, yeah.
And she owned the key to the castle. So you'd come and find her, pay her your tuppence or your threepence. She'd give you the key and you could wander up and have a little look around up there.
It seems so different.
When your time was up, she'd ring a little bell.
I'm going to try and get the castle in shot now, yeah.
For you to come back down again.
Okay. So she'd just let you wander up there on your own?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it makes me wonder,
yeah,
what happens if you lost the key?
Good point.
Yeah, did she have spares? She must have. And what happens if you were right over the far side having a look and then she was ringing the bell? You
couldn't hear her.
And what happens if there had multiple people up there? You'd have to wait for one lot to come back down before you can go up.
Well, perhaps it reflects the fact it wasn't that busy. One party at a time.
Best bit was she served cream teas here, and it's alleged that she kept the cream in the toilet to keep it cool.
I think there's a limit to even what you would eat, isn't there? Anyway, let's go and find Merlin's cave. Oh yes, look, low tide and Merlin's cave is that one there. The pamphlet says the first cavern on the left is Merlin's cave, and at low tide it's possible to walk through to the small rocky beach known as West Side. These steps aren't too bad, they'd be even easier if I didn't have a very boisterous puppy. You're wrapped around me, darling. No, you can't go that way.
Chaos.
Stuck.
Puppy chaos.
Oh, it's harder filming with the puppy, isn't it? oh, sorry. Okay, I've got him.
You got him? Sure?
Yeah, I've got him. You go on, I'll wait. I don't like this. Okay.
That was fun.
I'm on 2 feet. That's good news. That's good news. Going up's always easier, isn't it? So that's fine. Let's go and find the cave. So 12:30 was low tide. I'm not quite sure the height of the tide at the moment, but it should give us enough time just to get through, have a look at the other beach. There's the most brilliant, beautiful waterfall. That stream that was tumbling down through the valley is just falling off the cliff over here. Look at it. It's making the most fantastic sound. Anyway, here is Merlin's cave, where Arthur, as an infant, was discovered by Merlin, washed ashore. Oh wow, it's quite big actually. Where are you? Oh, he's filming. We're not going to spend long on the other beach. There's other footprints here, so other people have done it. There's a big puddle ahead. I'll go back onto the beach.
Okay.
I'll take the dogs with me, and then you can have a recce without worrying about the dogs,
Okay.
alright? And let me know if it's passable.
That's a lead.
Okay. Come on then, boys. Come on. Good boys. Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed. I've always wanted to go onto that little beach. I hope he doesn't just go without me. Come on, boys. Come on. Good boys. Good boys. There they go.
Like, it's too deep. It's too deep. It's too much water. Yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? See, if we had a magician with us, he could just transport us to the far side without getting our feet wet.
Well, I've got half wellies on, but they're not going to be.
I think you're going to need a bit more than that.
Oh, what a shame. I've always wanted to get round there.
Yeah, it's quite deep, isn't it?
It's just too wide, isn't
Yeah.
it?
You've got a very interesting puppy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's way too deep. You have to climb up over there.
I don't know where you put your foot next, is the trouble. No.
What a shame. Note to self, need wellies. And if I was going to do that, I wouldn't bring the puppy. He's going to be underwater. He hasn't learned to swim yet. I'm just scouring the beach. I'm consoling myself with looking for a bit of sea glass. Oh, hello. You're going to try and help me look for some sea glass. I can't see sea glass. Lots of slate. A little bit of quartzy granite. Really pretty pebbles. But it seems to be quite a clean beach. Definitely no sea glass though. Oh, just a puppy.
So Sarah,
Yeah.
when I was at home doing a little bit of research about Merlin's cave,
Yeah.
there was something that I spotted which I didn't know about.
Okay.
And I know you don't know about it either.
Go on.
So if you come with me,
Yeah.
I will show you what I'm talking about.
Oh, come on then. Where are we going? Back in?
Well, back towards the cave.
Yeah.
When you said look for something on the wall just before you go in. Go and have a look. See if you can find it.
Found it.
Go on.
Crumbling rock sign.
No, it's not that. Go on.
I'm going to follow you then. It is the crumbling rock sign.
The cave entrance is just here.
Yes.
What can you see?
Rocks.
Have a closer look. Have you seen it?
Yes. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
You like that?
I do like that. I like that a lot. There it is. I think that's incredible.
Do you like it?
I do.
Yeah, I like it as well. But when it first went in 2016, it was actually commissioned by English Heritage.
Oh, really?
A local sculptor did it. Went in the February of 2016, but there was a lot of uproar apparently at the time. A lot of people said it was a form of vandalism because English Heritage should be looking after and conserving this site.
Okay.
And if they're allowed to do that, what's to stop other people putting their own type of graffiti or art around?
But that's beautiful, isn't
I know,
it?
and it's quite subtle, and it's at the entrance to the cave here.
It's not destructive, it's
So,
enhancing.
It was actually, lots of people said it was a form of vandalism. Now,
Yeah, but
ironically, later that year, in May, have a closer look at that, because it's been alleged it's been vandalised.
The nose is missing.
Yeah, part of the nose is missing.
It's just going distracted by a puppy.
Go nuts.
It is, isn't it? Look at it. Woo. Full of energy. Oh,
It's interesting, isn't it?
it is.
So it's not very big, is it?
Look, this whole site, you've got to admit, oh, I'm falling off the rock now. You've got to admit this whole site is about luring the tourist here, isn't it? The statue of Arthur could be seen as distracted to the site. The bridge was really controversial.
Yeah.
It's yet another controversial thing that brings attention and tourism to this site, really, isn't it? Look, its nose is missing. beautiful. I like it. I really like that.
That's beach vandalism.
Oh my
Look at
lord. We're going to start a controversy. Well done, boy. Yeah, well done. I know. Wow, that is stunning. We have had a volume of rain recently, which is probably adding to the volume of water tumbling off that cliff. It's not that high, but it's really loud. I don't want to.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I mean, the walk takes us on to Barra's Head there, doesn't it? But I don't want to leave the beach at the moment. It's lovely down here today. So we're going to head out to the headland behind us. And that's where the walk takes us. Really short walk, don't really need much in the way of instructions. Anybody could do this.
This is going to be fun because I carried the little puppy down the last bit of those metal steps because I didn't think he was going to like them.
Yeah, and the little brown dog refused where it was slatted and there was no cover.
But we've got to go back up them now and he's soaking wet. Is that your sympathetic laugh?
What about letting him try it himself?
Well,
oh goodness me, that means I'm left with the little brown one. Oh bless him, he can't get up there. Can you, sweetheart? You're coming back to mummy.
well, I know we couldn't get through Merlin's Cave, but I really enjoyed that. I've never actually been on that beach before.
No, we've seen it lots of times, haven't we? But I'm glad we got down there.
I like that sculpture.
I do too.
Yeah.
Sorry, the puppy's pulling me. I had to turn. Let's go up.
Onwards.
Yeah. Get on it, boy. Coming into view on our right hand side. Here. We're going to walk out there now.
Stone here, Sarah.
Yes.
This actually marks, this was actually the second piece of land that the National Trust purchased in 1895, and it was paid for by public subscription, and this stretch now was the second one that they purchased, and this commemorates that. It's got a lovely verse at the bottom of it.
Oh, let me read it out.
Let you go and have a little read.
Oh yeah, look, 1 year out, Andrew.
Oh, that's not bad for me.
1896, by public subscription. Enjoyment of the nation, look. Hard by was great Tintagel's Table Round, and there of old the flower of Arthur's knights made fair beginning of a noble time.
It's the building up there which is being renovated by the looks of it at the moment. It's having its roof done.
Yeah.
So that's the hotel, isn't it? So that's the Camelot's hotel now. It was called the King Arthur Hotel.
Yeah.
So when that book was written in the 1950s, the Tintagel souvenir guide, it did say that to the side, so as we're looking at it, the left-hand side, that was all a golf course.
Yes.
Very overgrown now.
There's a nagging little fact about that hotel that I might be wrong about, but I think it's got 365 windows.
Wow. I mean, it's, you know, as a made-up fact goes, it's brilliant.
Opened in 1899, I think.
Very good.
But that's off the top of my head. It could be like the Arthur story. It's a legend. Come on, boys.
Tintagel made-up stuff.
History with Sarah and Andrew.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm going to carry it on. Go on. Forgot where you got to, haven't you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I can't board now. Oh my word. Look at it. It just comes into view. Oh wow. The coastline up here is stunning. So inky black, and the sun doesn't really get down to the water's edge, if you know what I mean, because the cliffs cast such a shadow. Beautiful dark greys, dark greens, even inky black where the sea just meets the cliff. It's astonishing.
This is why we do the channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've never actually been up on this particular headland before.
No.
What a view, isn't it?
I know.
I've got something down here I think our subscribers might like.
Oh yes.
It's a bench with a view.
I can see it.
We're gonna have a look.
Yes, let's get down there.
Sarah, I'm going to name this bench the Merlin bench.
Oh, good name.
Because the views are magical.
Oh, you're poetic today, aren't you? Almost verging on romantic.
Spellbound.
So we've got enough daytime, enough daylight. It's gone a bit chilly with the sun going in, but we've got enough time to get to Bossiney and then just make a circular walk back to Tintagel. Ah, good ball. Hello.
You're having fun.
He is so cute.
Our puppy is so hairy, and every time we take him out on a walk, because he's got very white feet, this happens every time. Look how mucky he gets. He's having more baths than us. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
every time he goes out, isn't it?
Okay, I've lost it.
Okay.
Come here, boy. I know, I was just about to tell everybody how we've got shorter days, haven't we? So the sun is almost setting already. What is it, about 3 o'clock?
Yeah, it's not that late, is it?
You've got a 360 panorama if you stood on this bench.
It's beautiful up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really high up, so you've got a great view down both coasts. I'm sure on a clear day, pretty sure on a clear day you can see out to Lundy Island in the Channel.
Yes, and Devon.
Yeah, it's a bit hazy there today, isn't it?
Well, we'll give it a go. What a stunning view. In the summer, of course, the colours are completely different. Beautiful. The Rocky Valley is not far along that stretch of coastline. And then you get to Boscastle. The church steeple you can see on the horizon is Forrabury, near Boscastle. Near Bossiney Haven, there's a petrifying well. what you think it's up there where it's flowing out.
Yeah.
That's behind a load of... Oh no, you can go over the bridge and get to it up there. Oh, okay, so it's kind of, up there we think. There's some water tumbling out. Our pamphlet actually references the Petrifying Well, and it says to cross the stream by a wooden footbridge, turn right and follow upstream for about 80 yards. Thank you all. We're just going to scramble. Well, it's not much of a scramble actually across this field, is it? To have a look. See if our hunch rather, is right.
Obviously well used by cows.
Yes, lots of cow hoof prints, isn't there? So that bit is leaking out from under the rock.
Yeah, I think it's a bit, maybe around the corner, but I might be completely wrong.
How are you going to get there though? Well, I've got my half wellies on, I could give it a go.
Can you have a go?
Yeah. Oh, it is sucking.
Yeah, it sucks a bit, yeah. Like a vacuum, isn't it?
No.
No?
Yes, it's just a little tumble of water. There's nothing there that seems to indicate it's the Petrifying Well. The Petrifying Well is where you get a cascade of calcium-rich water, and it drips, and over time the calcium stays with like whatever it's hanging on, the moss or weed, and then that turns to stone. But that's definitely not happening here. That's just a little waterfall, isn't it? Oh well, so we must have missed that then. I wonder where it is. He's saying if anyone knows, send us an email. Let us know where it is. What 3 words would be great?
What 3 words?
What 3 words?
Very wet feet.
Very muddy dogs.
Very muddy dogs. Whoa.
Andrew, we found another one of our tasks.
We have, haven't we?
Or should I say tasks?
Oh, very good. Very, very good.
So the rock formation on the left of the cove has a natural rock arch, a sea arch, which creates what they think looks like an elephant having a drink, isn't it? It's the elephant arch.
We'll try and get a better shot of that, I think, over to the right.
Yeah, need to go over there a bit,
We'll
don't
have to compare that with what he took a photograph of.
Good idea.
Back in the 1950s.
Let's get the book out.
Wonderful book.
There we go. So you can see there is an archway there. And he's on the cove, so we aren't going to get the same line, are we? We could try and get down to the cove.
I think we're going to struggle. There's cows blocking our way to that side, and I think it's quite steep going down there.
There's an incoming tide, so we need to be aware of that as well. It might be lost before we can get down there.
Well, there's fencing.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this then?
That's how you get down to the cove.
Oh, you can't get through anymore?
Can't get down there.
Ooh.
So the southwest coast path carries on up those steps.
Yes, that takes you to Rocky Valley.
Oh, there's somebody coming up from there now though. Oh. Well, they must have squeezed around.
Perhaps they shouldn't be.
Yes. Right, we'll carry on. Come on, boys. Okay, so we've reached Bossiney.
We have, yes. So
We are looking for Bossiney Mound.
don't know where it is.
No idea.
It's in Bossiney and it's a mound.
Yeah. How hard's that going to be to find?
Well, for us, quite hard.
That's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit tight.
It's our turn now, boy. That wouldn't be a nice, kind, helpful notice board, would it?
There is, but it's just advertising a job for Tintagel Parish Council at the moment, which I was just reading. It's a bit far for me to travel every day.
How difficult would it be to find? It's one of the oldest parts of the village. He's stuck. He's stuck. He's got 2 dogs, 2 leads. Anyway, back to what we were saying. It's one of the oldest parts of the village. So it's got to be nearer the older, more traditional style cottages. We'll probably find a cottage, something called the Mound. This is so cute. Now that's an older style one. Don't know. Oh, car coming there.
Map time?
Yeah.
We're looking
Guesswork didn't work.
So we're looking for Bossiney Mound, are we?
Yeah.
It's on the map, is it?
Okay, so reading it the correct way, there's the island, and we've walked along the cliff, and we've come out here.
Okay.
And this is Bossiney Castle. But it doesn't actually show you anywhere there in Bossiney where the mound is. I would guess it's with the castle.
Okay. Well, I reckon it's after that road to the left
junction.
where that car's just going. There's a very old property behind that. You can see the chimneys on it.
Indeed.
So I would have thought that would have been more in the centre of the village then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go and have a wander then.
Alright, I'm up for that.
Do you think it's over there?
Possibly.
There's a chapel there. There's a mound behind it. I think the mound is to the side or behind Bossiney Chapel. Over there. Okay, so we don't think we can get onto it, do we?
No, I think it might be on private land.
Do you think that might be it?
I don't know. Behind the church, it's certainly an earthwork, but it's in somebody's private garden.
That's what we're looking at. That's the back of it there.
So it doesn't look very pretty. But that's the only mound-shaped thing that we can kind of see in the village. There's nothing up where the castle is indicated on the map other than a riding school. The reason we wanted to show you the mound is that it was just where the MP for the area used to be declared, and the last one was Sir Francis Drake. So about half a mile, something like that, out of Tintagel. You can't really see the seam that joins Tintagel and Bossiney. It's not far back to the car.
I wonder how many visitors come to Tintagel and call it Tintagel.
Do you remember your mum had those American friends that came?
Someone's doing us.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. Somebody else.
Okay.
Do you anyway? Going back to those American friends that your mum had, and they came bursting in, didn't they? And said, "Oh my God, we've just been to Tintagel," didn't they?
They did. They're very excited. Someone in Tintagel has got a sense of humour when it comes to naming the road names.
There's probably a very good reason.
Okay.
So back at Tintagel, see some of these old properties across there. They definitely look like the older style houses. The ones that maybe the Victorians didn't get to knock down and replace with their elegant double-fronted bay windowed types. Aren't they beautiful? So visitors really flocked here in the Victorian period.
Yeah, that's where it became popular.
And the high street changed from these beautiful slate, low ceilinged or low roofed kind of, oh, they were just beautiful, like the old post office. They would have been all like that down the main street. The Victorians came in, swept them away, built hotels and guest houses, and that was really the start of the boom of the tourism again.
Yeah.
So our walk today, we ended up doing the first and second walks from that pamphlet, kind of just go down to the Cove, up to Bossiney and back along the road. It's really simple.
Yeah, that little souvenir guide from 1950s, it still works, it's brilliant.
Yes, I enjoyed Merlin's cave, brilliant fun exploring that today.
We found the sculpted face of Merlin down by the cave as well.
Yeah, and the waterfall was fantastic.
Beautiful views, and it's a stretch of the coast path, that little 2-mile bit we haven't done before, so the whole of this walk's about 4 miles. Had a great time.
Ticked another box. So would you score it?
Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Why only an 8? I'll give it a 10.
Well, the shops are shut. It's January. Come in the summer, it'll be a 10.
Help us grow our channel, please subscribe and consider supporting us on Patreon.